Test. Cool. I have received Cool. How you guys doing today? Good. Good. Yeah. We got a few people in the lobby. You guys can devour those chairs in the back. Well, shit, they're all gone already. Okay, cool. We'll just keep on filling in. We'll get them to bring us more chairs. Okay. We'll get them. There's a chair right here. There's another chair right here, guys. You guys fill these up. There's two chairs right over here. There's another chair right here, guys. Go ahead and fill them all in. It's gonna fill up, and it'll be standing room again. By the time everybody shows up here today, guys. Right here, that chair's open there. Just see you guys. Ugly people can stand the back. Cool. All right, guys. Welcome. I'm excited to be here in Portland. We have a lot of shit going on right here in the Northwest, guys. It's a great area. How many of you guys right now are currently in real estate? Like, you have a rental property that you own that you get income on? Okay. How many of you guys flip properties? Okay. How many of you guys have never been in construction before? Ever before? Raise your hand. You've never been in construction. Okay. How many of you have never been in real estate, never bought an investment property? Okay, good. Now, every hand should go up here. How many of you guys want to get into real estate? Raise your hand. If your hand wasn't up, you're in the wrong room. Okay? All right. Cool. How many of you guys are brand new to me? We market a lot of people that, cool. Raise your hand. If you're brand new to me in the last week or so, raise your hand. Okay, cool. About 50%. That's about what we market. So, cool. There's 8 billion people on the circuit. We're evolving, guys. We're going to continue growing. So I want some people that know who we are, been around us, and a part of our community. But we also want new people, always growing, always evolving. Okay. Now, one of the big things, and the reason that I'm actually here today is I do a lot of stuff in Kirkland, Washington. My attention has been brought to the Portland area, and a lot of it has to do with some of the financially distressed assets that have come not just from economics, but even from homelessness, drugs, and some of the downturn of what Portland has seen over the last decade. You guys recognize a little bit of stuff that's happened in Portland over the last 10 years? Yeah? Well, it's not all bad, guys. The numbers have actually went up. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about that with you guys. Now, for those of you guys that don't know who I am and are marketed to me the first time you guys have seen me, I've been in commercial real estate and construction for almost 30 years. It'll be 29 years this March. And so I've been doing this for a little while. Now, I didn't get into construction on purpose, guys. I truly didn't. It was truly an accident. I was in pharmacy school. I was in college. I went off, had about 3.5 year hiatus where I left school and I was in multi-level marketing. Got out of that. The FTC shut the company I was down with in 1997. I sucked at it for about 2 years, but I got really good at it for about the last 2 years I was in it. And I actually did really well. And I landed up learning and took the good attributes from it. And then I went broke for a little while and I accidentally got into construction. And I opened up a small concrete company almost 29 years ago. And that small concrete company today still does about $14 million a year in business. I still have that concrete company. It's been a heyday feeder for us for all our real estate over the course of the last 3 decades. And that fed into our real estate development in 1998, 1999. And so we've been doing ground up construction since that time. And the way I did this, guys, is I didn't have any construction experience. I didn't have any real estate experience. I didn't know shit about construction or real estate. I sanded drywall when I was in college. That was all I knew about construction. I'd go to college in my classes with white shit in my ears, swipes the shit up my nose, and it wasn't cocaine, it was just other white shit. And it was everywhere. And I'd wash myself in a hose bin, and I'd go to class looking like Frosty the Snowman, okay? And so that was my only experience in construction. And I was told that if I didn't get a good education, that I was gonna land up in construction. I didn't realize that there was more money in construction than anybody else that was in that college room, in those classrooms, including the professors, guys. And in my first year in business, we did $1.7 million in concrete work. And in 1998, I started buying homes because I didn't want to be in a position where I didn't have ever again. And I made just enough money to go spend it on a bunch of dumb shit like young 20-year-olds do. And I landed up buying boats and a little a Heritage Softail Harley and a lake house over in San Antonio. And when all shit fell apart, I lost 100% of it, all of it. It all went back. And so I never want to be in that position again. So this time I did it different. When I got into construction, it was about keeping my overhead low and doing shit right. My credit was screwed. So for those of you guys that are sitting here today and you guys are challenged with whatever you're challenged with, I don't feel sorry for a damn one of you guys. And you guys will understand if you guys really know my story, you'd understand why. Because I didn't have the support financially from my parents, nobody. Like I had to do this like the Lone Ranger. In fact, there was a time when my parents, I didn't even let them know where I lived for like a year because they would have sent Rico Man after me and I needed my car. Seriously. And so I didn't have the financial support, moral support, didn't have any of the support. I had to do this shit 100% on my own. And to my benefit, I stuck with it. It turned out really well. If you guys know my real story, you know, we have about $170 million worth of real estate under construction right now. That's all 100% mine. And we own about $600 million in assets. And it's not 70% owned by investors like most syndicators. I own all of it. It's mine. And I built that from nothing. Guys, I'm pretty fucking proud of that. And so I'm going to show you how I did that today. And I'm going to talk to you guys about what you guys need to be paying attention to right here in the Portland area and what you guys need to be paying attention to for you guys, okay? Now, my community yesterday, I really got deep with them, and a lot of it has to do with New Year's resolutions. So I figured, well, shit, it's the beginning of the year, guys. And if it's the beginning of the year, and most people, how many of you guys made New Year's resolutions? Yeah, fuck all your New Year's resolutions. They ain't worth a shit. Guys, and I'm serious, guys, fuck your New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions for people that aren't doing shit right. You need to be doing shit right every fucking day, okay? Period. If you're not doing shit right every fucking day, that's the only reason you need to do a New Year's resolution. I don't need a New Year's resolution because I jack shit up every single day of my life, and every day that I jack shit up, I say, fuck, I better not do it that way ever again. I better figure this shit out, including coming home to my kids, my wife, and I say dumb shit, and I'm like, okay, don't do that again, Jerome, right now. And so when I tell you guys about this, you need to put yourself in a position, guys, where every fucking day you're doing shit right, okay? Now, guys, I'm going to be me. I'm going to cuss. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. I've earned it. I have nothing to hide from you guys. I'm not going to pretend to be somebody I'm not because I've earned it and I don't give a shit what anybody in here thinks. Is that cool with you guys? Yeah. Okay. So unforgivingly, I'm just going to be myself. And if you don't like who myself is, you can leave. I don't fucking care. It's free. You know, you guys are here. You're going to learn some really cool shit today. And I'm going to teach you guys what we really, really do. And the reason that I do this, guys, is because I raise capitals from the people in my community. Not you guys in here, maybe a few of you guys, but when I started in construction, I performed 100% of my assets myself. And I did that all the way until 2016. And in 2016, I was probably worth about $25 million. I had done well, but I was unfulfilled. The 2008 recession kicked my ass. It took me like 5 years to clean up the 2008 recession. And after the 2008 recession, I put myself in a position where I became very, very conservative. And when I was about 43 years old, I sat back and I was like, fuck, I went to my wife and I said, you know what? I got more in me and I feel like I've been stagnant for like the last decade. I know I have one solid run left in me that I can just give it all I got. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. Because I worked my ass off my whole career. And I sat back and I said, well, shit, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. I'm not going to sit here pussyfoot and go in half-ass on this stuff. I'm going to go in full-fledged. And so I decided I'm not going to use my own capital anymore. I'm going to go in, I'm going to raise capital. I'm going to do it like institutions do it. And I'm going to figure this shit out. I didn't know what I was doing in 2016, but I was dedicated to making sure I did it. And I sat back, and when people were asleep, including my family, on Saturday mornings, I was up watching videos, I was up reading, and I did this for 2 years, guys, just to figure shit out on how to raise capital the right way. I went to conferences, I did a lot of what you guys are doing, but I devoured myself in it. And I said, okay, if I'm going to do this shit, I'm going to go to the best people that I know, that I'm familiar with. And I didn't follow social media. I didn't have a Facebook page. I didn't have an Instagram page. I had never been on social media in my entire life until February of 2018 was the first time I didn't even know what Facebook looked like. And so February of 2018 was the first time I ever jumped on social media. And I found out that people were using social media to build social brands and to be able to raise capital in real estate. And I went in, I found some attorneys that other people were utilizing. And since then, we've grown from 25 million to over $600 million since 2018. It's been incredible. And the way I did that is by creating a community. Exactly what I'm doing here today. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know I was going to be doing this. If you would have asked me 8 years ago that I was going to be teaching this stuff, I would have told you you were smoking crack. I had no desire to do this. But to your guys' advantage and to my growth, this is what's allowed us to grow. And here's how, guys. Most people that are out there are looking for something greater, period. You know, the reason you guys are here is because you guys are looking for something better. And if you're a contractor and you're here, it's because you don't understand the money game. You don't understand how banks work. And you need to understand how banks lend on money. And I'm going to go over that with you guys today because most people have it asked backwards. We spend 13,000 hours in an education system that teaches you how to go broke. You go month to month, paycheck to paycheck. And I'll give you a perfect example. My niece is a perfect example of our school system. I love my niece. God bless her heart. She went to school. She got her undergrad degree. She went to law school at Pepperdine, full ride scholarship. Got out. Lives in Anaheim, California. Good neighborhood in Anaheim. Good neighborhood. Her husband became an occupational therapist. They've both been out of school for about 5 to 7 years. They bought a $1 million home. That's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. That's 110 years old, guys. That's what their education did for them. Okay. Now, all due respect, I love them. God bless their heart. They're doing well for what America offers. But that's what America offers the average person. Fuck that. That's bullshit, guys. And I knew that was bullshit when I was young. And I sat back and I said, I went through pharmacy school and I went all the way. I graduated from pharmacy school and I realized, I was like, fuck that. This is bullshit. I got to wear that white cape the rest of my life and I'm going to get paid and I'm going to be limited. I'm going to hit a glass ceiling and I'm fucked. That's my true potential. I was going to die doing that. That didn't make me happy. So when I talk about real estate and I talk about what it does for me, you guys have to pay attention. Because what I'm doing in this room, guys, iron sharpens iron. Guys, the Bible tells us so. And it says it in the Bible, but it's iron with friction, guys. What we do here today, when I'm explaining it to you guys today, is the hardest fucking thing you're ever going to do in your life. Why? Because it's new to you. And if you don't get your head right, you don't get your faith right, you might as well not even be in here. Because I will tell you, if you haven't done this before, you're going to be challenged mentally. Why? Because it's different. It's different than the bullshit you were fed while you were going to school. And to my benefit, I'm dyslexic, so I didn't learn shit in school. So the same education you got, I didn't get because I didn't learn shit in school. Okay, I struggled through it all the way through pharmacy school, but I was open-minded enough to understand that the system was fucking broken. Okay, now you get out of that school, and if you're lucky enough to go out and buy a home, guys, you go in and you learn financing through buying a home, and that's called conforming lending, guys. Today we're going to talk about investment lending. We're going to talk about assets. We're going to talk about comps, and we're going to talk about this stuff in depth. Okay, so we're going to talk about assets, and we're going to talk about comps. This is the stuff that the banks are looking for. Okay, they don't give a shit about you guys. How many of you guys have an 800 credit score? Raise your hand. Okay, no one gives a shit about your 800 credit score, including the banks, guys. I've never had an 800 credit score in my entire life. I treat my credit like a stolen car. I beat the shit out of it every day. Literally. So I don't know what it feels like to have an 800 credit score. And so I'm going to tell you guys, I've had hundreds of millions of dollars. I have hundreds of millions of dollars in loans, and we've got hundreds of millions of dollars of loans over the course of time. And not having an 800 credit score has never been a contributing factor. Having a great project is the main contributing factor. And so I'm going to teach you guys what banks are looking for, so that way you guys understand how and why banks lend on these assets, okay? Now, the more money that you guys go and make, the more money you guys are going to give me for my big-ass projects. And here's why. Because the banks have a certain requirement for you guys to scale and for you guys to grow. And without projects like my projects, you guys can't grow. The bank won't give you guys money. You have to resume into those projects. That's why my shirt says resume up. Because when you guys go in, I can help you guys build single-family homes. I can help you guys, without any experience, go build a duplex, a 4-unit, a 6-unit, a 10-unit apartment complex, but that's about where the banks cap you. From there, you're fucked. You can't grow. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how sophisticated you are. Nothing else matters except for your resume. So when you go to a bank, the bank wants to know if their money's protected with somebody who has experience. Because once you get into institutional assets, shit changes a lot, okay? And so I am benefited by you guys gaining experience. And the only way that you guys can gain that experience is if you guys go out, you guys make money building single-family homes, get into small multifamily, and then you guys are going to get cussed. And when you guys get cussed, the only way you get experience is investing some money as a limited partner in one of my assets. You guys go in, you guys make a return on your investment, and you guys resume into bigger assets. It's a win-win situation. I had no idea it was going to work like this, but that's exactly how it works with the banks. That's how the lenders look at it, and that to your guys' benefit, it's going to benefit you guys. Why do I teach it? Because if I can teach it, I can raise more capital. I can send out a single email today, and if I need $4 million, I send out one email to my community, and I can raise $4 to $6 million in less than 30 days. And we want that to grow. So the more I grow, so I figure I have 3,000 people in my community, I want to put 6,000 people in my community, because when I have 6,000 of you guys kicking ass, I can go out and raise $10 million with one email. That's fucking cool, okay? That's why you guys are here today, and that's what benefits me to help you guys go out and kick ass. Does that make sense? Yes. Iron truly sharpens iron, guys. And so we built an incredible community. You guys are going to have an opportunity to come in and learn today a little bit about underwriting, banking, and lending, and I'm going to go over it starting right now. Now, to your guys' benefit, I'm going to also invite you guys to Vegas with me on February 21st and 22nd, where we have an in-depth workshop, and I only host like 2 or 3 of these a year. And one's coming up in February, and you guys have an opportunity to come spend a weekend with me. You guys get to spend 16 hours with me. For those of you guys that are new to me, just wait for the next 45 minutes. You're going to sit back, and I don't give a shit what your level of experience is. It's not to the experience level that I'm going to go over with you guys today, and I already fucking know that. Period. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So we're going to hit that now. Look, guys, let me see. Hey, Steven, can you do me a favor, bro? Can you bring some more? Can we get some more chairs in here? Cool. Thanks, brother. Cool. How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. Okay, now, here's what we're doing, guys. We're going to talk about assets, and we're going to talk about comps. Now, how many of you guys own commercial real estate right now that are rental properties? Okay? Okay, so maybe about 7 of you guys. Now, when we go in, guys, I want you guys to pull out your phones, because I'm going to have you guys help me with a few items here today. And I want the best way to learn is for you guys to actually punch in the numbers and do some of the numbers yourself. Now, there's a formula that you guys have to know. And I'm going to talk about banking and lending based on how banks actually lend money with you guys today. So if you're a contractor and you've been doing business for other people, like you've been building custom homes for other people, that's the shittiest job in the world. I know that. I know that you know that. Because not only are you a contractor, but you're a psychiatrist, you're a marriage counselor, you're dealing with all the bullshit. And I did one custom build for one customer years ago. I said, fuck that, never again. I'll never build for people ever again. I'm going to build spec homes. I'm going to build 100% of them. And to my advantage, we're making enough money where I've never taken out a loan on a single family home personally, but for my community, holy shit, we've taken out a ton of them. And so now to you guys' benefit, I'm going to show you guys how our community is taking out loans on single family homes. The goal is for you guys not to have to take loans out on these homes. Multifamily, yes. But literally within 2 years, guys, you guys should be building these houses cash. And the reason why is because when you think about it from a cash flow perspective, if you're building, let's say, $1 million home and the land and the house and everything all in costs you about $700,000, $600,000 to be able to build, you can turn and revolve that every 6 months. So if you turn that cash twice, that's $600,000 twice in a year, and you made 300 grand, that's a 100% return on your investment in 1 calendar year. What else can you do where you can take 600 grand and make 600 grand with your 600 grand all in 1 year, guys? Is there anything you know of? That's why I build cash. So people sit back and go, well, why wouldn't you just use the bank's money? Because I can just fly through these homes and I can revolve the exact same capital every 6 months. Does that make sense? So that's why I do it. Now, how does that work, guys? When we go in and we're looking at assets and we're looking at homes specifically, how many of you guys are more interested in multifamily than single family homes? Raise your hand. Shit, a lot of you guys. Okay. How many of you guys that are in, keep your hands up if you said multifamily. Now, if I could show you how to do multifamily, but you did some homes on the side and made an extra $500,000 a year part-time, how many of you guys would be interested in that? Doing multifamily, okay? And that's why, guys, whatever you're doing right now, I don't want you to quit your jobs. I want you guys to stay doing it because this will take everywhere from 6 months to a year to get your first one done. But the first one will be life transformational for you because now we're going to build a pipeline of houses and getting them out of the ground that we're going to be revolving every single 6 months. But we're going to do it not just one at a time. For those of you guys that want to drive and do it full-time, you guys can do multiples, and I'll show you how. For those of you guys that have a full-time job and just want to do it part-time, this is great for you too, because you're not going to pull out a lawn chair and watch your framers frame the house. You're not going to sit back with popcorn and watch your drywall guys do the drywall on your home. You're going to go out and literally, if you spend 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're going to spend more time on a job site than the best contractors in the country, okay? And so, because even the best contractors don't spend that much time. But if you go 5 days a week to your build and you just look at all the problems for an hour, take pictures, and you spend another hour scheduling and taking care of phone calls, that's about the most amount of time it's going to take on a single build. Does that make sense? Yeah? Yeah. How many of you guys are okay making a couple $100,000 extra per year with 10 hours a week? You guys okay? Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Now, for those of you guys that are exclusively here for residential, because it's what scales into multifamily, but understand that the same process, all you multifamily people, the same process that I talk about when it comes to multifamily is the exact same process for multifamily. Does that make sense? Now, if we're getting into institutional stuff, it changes a little bit. The tables turn a little bit. Once we get into institutional assets, the lending requirements change and the expense of the build goes up. But between what we're doing now up to about 20 units, it's all the same. The way lending works and everything. So I'm going to talk about it from a single family perspective. And you guys will understand by the end of this why, when we're still building multifamily, why we still build homes today. And I only build about 2 to 4 of them a year, and that's about as much as I'll max out. But how many of you guys, if you could build 4 homes a year and make over $1 million a year net out, how many of you guys would do it? It's part-time. Yeah, and that's why I do it, guys. And plus, my wife kicks me out of the house about 11 o'clock. If you be home all day, you can you have something to go do. Because all my shit's on the phone. She's like, I will. Okay, that's my call, right? I gotta get the hell out of the house, right? How many of you guys are in that situation? You're like, wife's like, get the fuck out of here. I talk loud. Like the way I'm talking now is the way I take my phone calls at home. We have a 10,000 square foot house. My wife's like, she's like, shit. We can't do nothing when you're home because the whole house is on fire when you're home. You know, it's like the whole house can hear you. It doesn't matter if you're upstairs, downstairs, concrete walls or not, they can hear you. Okay, now let's talk about banking and lending, guys. Now, real quick here, I'm going to explain this real quick. I've never done them on these little tablets like that over here, so this is the first time. We're trying to do it so you guys can see better. Okay, value equals net operating income divided by cap rate, okay? Now, when we go in, guys, this formula right here is the most important formula that you'll ever have. You want a tattoo? Tattoo that shit down the back of your arm, down your neck, or on your back, okay? That's something that has meaning. That is the single most important formula in banking right there because it's the way assets are actually assessed, okay? Now, there's a lot of other numbers that come along with that, but that's, if you're into multifamily, you need to know that. Okay, now let me explain to you guys what's happening right now and why underwriting is so important with everything that you do. Now, one of the biggest things, guys, how many of you guys in here know what a cap rate is? Raise your hand. If I asked you to come up here, those of you guys your hands up and told you guys to figure out a cap rate and the value of an asset with a cap rate, how many of you guys could come up here and figure that out? Okay, the people in my community. The people with their hands up are literally the people in my community, except for one, well, you're not, 2 people, okay? Now, here's the thing, guys. If you don't know what a cap rate is, how do you buy real estate? How do you succeed in real estate if you don't even know how to figure out the value of an asset? You're doing it the same way I did it before 2008. It almost got me put out of business in 2008. Is you sit back, you look at an asset, you look at it, you go, oh yeah, I like it. I think I can make this much money. And if it feels warm and fuzzy, you buy it. Stupid ass way to buy real estate. Okay? Stupid ass way to buy real estate. Everything, guys, that we do is stats and data. It's documented numbers. Numbers don't lie. And it's simple arithmetic, division, and multiplication. That's it, guys. And so it's not algebraic equations, it's just simple mathematics, guys. And numbers don't lie. The reason we've never lost a piece of real estate is because I know my numbers. I want to control every single variable that's in my control. And the variables, when I go in and I build an asset, I know what my costs are. I know what the value is going to be, and I know what on my end product is going to be in my worst case scenario. So I back into my projects before I get started. So, like for example, guys, in 2020, what were interest rates at in 2020?
3%. Yeah.
About 3%?
Yeah.
2.5, 3%, 3.5, somewhere between 2.5 and 3.5%. Where are interest rates today in 2025?
7.
About 6, 7%? Yeah. 6, 7. Kids, like 6, 7, you know. I did that the other day. I had to laugh. That's my daughter walking 6, 7. What does that mean? I don't know, 6, 7. Okay, so 6.5%. Now, when we come in here, guys, I need you guys to understand. The cap rate is the rate of return on your asset. So for sake of example, you go out, you buy stock in ExxonMobil, okay, which you guys should be buying some oil stocks right now, all right? Seriously. Yeah. And so, look, guys, the rate of return on your money. You go and buy 100 grand worth of ExxonMobil, and it gives you an 8% return this year. That's your cap rate. That 8% return is the return on your investment. You pay $1 million for an asset, and you pay it cash. That 8% is what that asset makes you in return. The banks want to know, can that asset perform on its own 2 feet? You guys think that they're looking at your debt to income ratio, and they're looking at your debt to income ratio, your liquidity, and your credit score. And they're not looking at that stuff. They might look at it kind of, but then once they kind of look at it, they're looking at the asset. They don't give a shit about that, about you. You're less relevant to the banks than you think you are. They're looking at the asset itself. They want to know if that asset is cash producing and it can stand on its own 2 feet. They want to know that if you go out and you build a house, do the comps actually support a resale price that the bank can get a return on their investment? They want to know that if they lend you money on a multifamily apartment complex and you disappear off the earth, because people do die, we know that, right? Hopefully not anybody in this room anytime soon, but we go in, guys, and if you were erased from this earth, does that asset still perform? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Now, when we go in, guys, it has to service its own debt. So the cap rate, at the very least, has to fall in alignment with the rate that you're paying the bank in interest. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if the interest rate is 6%, it has to be at least a 6% cap rate. So when interest rates went down, and they went down sub 3%, guess what shit sold for? Sub 3% cap rates, because it could afford its debt at that time. So when we go in, guys, and we look at these, let's say that we have like a 10-unit apartment complex, and that 10-unit apartment complex, based on average rents, brings in about $190,000 a year in revenue. And let's say that based on its performance, it has property taxes, insurance, light bulbs, asphalt, roof leaks, whatever it has, all the expenses that it takes to run that asset. After all expenses, the net operating income is like $120,000. Okay? So if we take the net operating income and it's $120,000 after all expenses are paid, and it goes in 2020, and it performs at a 3% cap rate, what is the value of that asset? Pull out your phones right now, every single one of you guys. Pull your phones out, guys. I need you guys to understand this, and I need you guys to punch in the numbers yourselves. Okay? Take 120,000 divided by 3%. What is that number, guys?
4 million.
For what?
4 million.
4 million even?
Yeah.
Even. Okay, $4 million. Now, we take the exact same asset, guys, $120,000 in revenue, in net operating income, but today's interest rates are 6.5%. So the debt coverage ratio, in order to cover the debt coverage ratio, the banks are underwriting real estate today at 6.23%. So let's go in and let's do it at 6.25%. 6.25%. And we take that same asset, guys, same rents, same lady with her little dog, same everything, same wallpaper, same carpet, same roof, same everything, and nothing's changed. The revenue hasn't changed, expenses haven't went up, and in spite of that, we know that there's probably more cash flow on that asset today than there was in 2020. But if we just say everything stayed the same, what is the value of that asset today with $120,000 divided by 6.25?
1,920,000.
$1.9 million, guys. $1.9 million. This is today. This was 2020, guys. There's $2.8 trillion worth of commercial real estate coming to the open market, and it's already coming to the open market, guys. And the bankers know it. What's severing commercial real estate right now and banking right now is worse than what happened in 2008. So for those of you guys that are sitting back, how many of you guys worked through the 2008 recession? Okay? Now, when I go back and I date it, guys, I really felt the recession. I was in denial until about October, November of 2008. October, November of 2008, you knew shit was wrong. Now, by April of the following years, the stuff started to give in a little bit. So we had about 6 months worth of really shitty temperature-taking time. Now, from April of 2009, we were starting to figure stuff out, but it took about another 2 years to really come to. Guys, we are 3 years into this interest rate hike, and shit is more jacked up today than it was 3 years ago. This is worse than the 2008 recession. What we're going through in commercial real estate is worse than what we went through in 2008. I don't care how you ante it up. The way the commercial market is today is so fucked right now that it is way worse than 2008. If you're in it, you know it. How many of you guys are multifamily syndicators? One person? 2 people? Okay, guys, multifamily syndicators, guys, they're losing their ass right now because most of this stuff is in office and in multifamily. And so if you're an investor that invested in this, you're probably not going to get a return. And 100% of your money is probably going to be lost in whatever asset you're buying that you invested in 2000, okay? Now, 2020. Now, you have to prevent that stuff. 100% of our investors are all getting paid out. All our dividends are done. We just finished our Kirkland, Washington project, where 100% of our investors just got paid out. We just finished our Youngtown project, where 100% of our investors just got paid out. And we have projects that are stabilized. Our Taylor Street project starting to stabilize. We start a lease up already, and in February, people start moving in. By May, we'll start paying our investors out, and all our investors will get paid out. 100% of our investors are getting paid out, and all of our projects are 100% from cash flow because we know this. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You guys need to know this exact same thing. Now, let's talk about single-family homes because this is where we're going to end. I need you guys to understand why we're talking about underwriting and why it's so important, and I need you guys to better understand where we're going with single-family homes because this is where we're going. Because even at this $1.9 million compressed evaluation, guys, you can still make money. There's still money in there if you know what you're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And there's still a lot of money in there, and I'll show you guys at the end of what we're doing today. Okay? Now, I'm going to put that aside for right now. Let's talk about homes. Okay? I love homes because homes continue to pay. Now, when we talk about homes, guys, we go after the upper middle class. We don't look at the ultra wealthy. This part right here is 24% of home buyers. Okay? 74% of home buyers are median home buyers or lower median. Okay? We don't look at those guys. And the reason why, guys, is that's Lennar Homes, that's Polke, that's Centex, that's KB Home, that's LGI, that's Toll Brothers. These guys are building in volume. These guys own the banks. These guys own the title companies. These guys own the real estate companies. They're the builders. They're the developers. They wear all hats, and they're building in mass quantity. So you can't compete against them. And if you do, your profit margin is so compressed. The issue is that the banks are going to require more money out of your pocket because those smaller homes are a larger liability to the banks than they are the larger ones. Okay? Now, I'm not even going to ask you if that makes sense because I know the 90% of you are like, how? How can that make sense? How many of you guys think that it's safer to get started with smaller projects and go in with like a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 home? How many of you guys feel like that's safer? Be honest, guys. Be honest, guys. If you guys are new to me, be honest. How many of you guys feel it's safer to go in after like $500,000 home? Okay? All right. We're going to talk about that here in just a second. We're going to talk about lending. okay? Now, and I'm not gonna bust you guys' balls, that's the way 90% of people really feel. They go like, okay, if I'm gonna get into this, I wanna stay conservative. If I'm gonna get into this, you know what, guys, why don't you guys move in? And there's plenty of room over here, so that way some of these people that are in the hallways can come in, guys. If you guys want, you guys are welcome to walk around me, just don't trip over the wires. For those of you guys that wanna join us, you guys can walk around over here and join us right on this side, guys. Just be careful for these wires over here. Don't kill yourself. Okay? All right, now, when we go in, guys, we focus on the upper middle class because the upper middle class, guys, isn't compromised financially by market volatility. When you go in and you guys watch the news, what happens with the median home buyers, the market is being subjected to the median market because it's the mass market. So when they talk about housing compression, it's in the median house sector. When you turn on KOB, CBS, NBC, or whatever other news station you watch at 10 o'clock at night, that's the shit they're talking about, is that 74%. That's the market that's getting compressed or suppressed to the market conditions based on volatility. Because 85% of the population, guys, 85% of the population, if you have a $500 to $600 change in your finances on a month-to-month basis, and you lose $500 to $600, 85% of our population in 60 days will be delinquent on their mortgage, their car payment, and credit card payments in 60 days. Meaning that 85% of our population lives month-to-month, paycheck to paycheck, and most of them have more month left at the end of their money. Okay? We don't function there. That's why we don't do fix and flips. How many of you guys are fix and flippers, guys? Okay? So the reason I don't do fix and flips is I don't want to bust your balls. That's why you're here. I know that's why you guys are here. Fix and flips suck, guys. If there was money in fix and flips, we'd be doing them. The only properties that I didn't make money on, we didn't lose money on them, but we didn't make money on fix and flips, was in 2008 when I sold those things. I just wanted to get out of them. That was it. I just wanted to get out of them. Because I was always rushing to try to finish that shift before inspectors would show up and I had to replace the entire electrical. Or I had to go in and upgrade the entire plumbing. Or I opened up a wall and all the shit was rusted and I didn't know and I was going to have to replace the whole damn thing. And now I have a $30,000 capital expense that I didn't budget for and my profit just went out the door. Fuck fix and flipping. It's like Russian roulette, man. You have six chambers, one bullet. You hit that thing and you sit back, and sooner or later, you're sitting back racing, hoping you don't blow your brains out with the next project. And that's fix and flipping. That's bullshit, guys. Don't do it no more. The ground up game is more controllable. The only difference is that most people think that because they don't have a tangible asset, they can't touch it and feel it. They can't comprehend it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now it's time for you guys to understand that. Look, there's a process to real estate, guys, and that process of real estate is what gets you money. Okay, the process is what gets you money, guys, from the bank. So we go in, guys, it's going to be architecture, it's going to be surveys, it's going to be engineering, and it's going to be permits and money. Okay, now, when we go in, guys, let's talk about the upper middle class here. We don't function on the upper 2%. That's the ultra wealthy. These guys are smart, guys. And these guys are like me. My house is big, man. I built that house. You guys know the story of my house. I'm not going to waste your guys' time with me telling you the story of how I purchased my home. But I built my home, but I didn't build my home for me. Someone else lost the home I built for them, and then I went and bought it out of foreclosure for like pennies on the dollar. And then I went in and I have a big ass house for free. Not free, but for almost free. And so wealthy people are smart, guys. When markets compress, that's when they wait to buy stuff. Does that make sense? Oh, yeah. And so you guys aren't going to make money off the ultra wealthy. The ultra wealthy are too damn smart. Now you can go in, you can make money if you hit it just right on the ultra wealthy, but why risk it? Why not just go and have controllable, tangible abilities to make controllable capital? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, now, I want you guys to think about where people live when they come in. Now, I have a list of places that my community is already building here in the local area, and I'll just go through some of them with you guys, because I was at a couple of them here in the last 48 hours. Now, when we go in, guys, I need you guys to think, okay? If I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a plumber who owns a good plumbing company, an electrical contractor that's doing a lot of homes. I have a great business doing $4 million, $5 million a year in revenue or more. And I want to put my kids in better schools. I want a nice, new, growing community. and I want a safer neighborhood where there's no crime, I want maybe some equestrians, some four-wheelers, and some cool shit. Where do I live? Where do I move to, guys?
I'm here.
Where are they moving, guys? Where is their growth? Okay, so we have like Stafford. Where at? Happy Valley?
Happy Valley, okay.
Yeah, Happy Valley is a great area. It's actually the #1 area. Cames is good too. Camas is good too. It's not as much growth as what's happening in Happy Valley, but it's still growing. How about Sherwood, guys? Yeah, how about Sherwood? How about Beaverton, Southwest Portland area? You guys familiar?
Yeah, new division.
Okay. Lake Oswego is recent, but it's not. I got nothing. Don't worry. I don't know how to read. I don't know how to spell. I'm fucking rich shit. I don't care. It's shit. You guys laughing all day. You guys give me a list of names to read off. I'll fuck like 90% of them up.
How's Hillsborough?
I'll be coming. What's that? Hillsborough? Okay, so Hillsborough, that's not, I don't have anybody building out there yet.
That's the largest development in the
West.
West.
Down right now.
How about West Lynn?
Yeah.
West Lynn, good area. How about West Hills? Arlington Heights, Kings Heights, those areas good? Okay, now, the reason I want you guys to think about these areas, guys, is because these are the areas where people are making money. Now, I wouldn't even touch anything unless it's over 700 grand, guys, in all honesty. 600, yeah, 600 grand, good, to $1.5 million, okay? Now, I'll tell you guys the sweet spot's between 800 and 1.3 million, okay? And the reason that's a sweet spot is because this shit sells fast, okay? Now, this stuff over here, and it's the most profitable. You'll make a couple hundred grand or better on this stuff, and we'll go through that here in a second, okay? Now, when we go in, guys, I want you guys to look at this from a real-life perspective of what stuff costs. Now, I don't want you guys, I'm gonna give you guys a few benchmarks and rules that you have to follow. And they're non-negotiables, guys. Like, these are non-negotiables, okay? Write these down. These are super important. When you go into an area, guys, and you're building, you cannot make money if homes are selling for less than $275 per square foot, okay? There's no money in it. With the cost of per square foot to build, you cannot make money. And the money, if you do build them, you may as well go flip burgers at Burger King because you're gonna make about an equivalent amount of money over the course of time. Don't do it. It's too much high risk. There's not a profitability. So $275 a square foot is the least amount that I want you guys to go in, okay? This is the abbreviation for square foot, okay? Now, once you get over $300 a square foot, that's where you start really making money. 300, 310, 315, that's when money really starts to compound up and you really start making money. Every single community across the United States has this. I've been challenged on this when my community was small. Now I know that people when they tell me that it doesn't exist in their community, I'm like, you're full of shit. Because I know. And let me explain something to you guys. When I started building, guys, I started building in a municipality called Rio Rancho, guys. I'm from New Mexico. You know, I've lived all over the country. I have houses in different places, but my wife's from New Mexico. I landed up settling there after I've traveled for a long time. And I always tell people, if you can get rich in Albuquerque, you can fucking get rich anywhere. Okay? Like, seriously. So people challenge me, I'm like, fucking, I'm from fucking Albuquerque. I got pretty rich, okay? So if you guys challenge it, guys, I was in this municipality called Rio Rancho for the first decade of my career. I didn't move from a 1 mile radius. In fact, I have people in our community that are building there now. One of them is my son's football coach, and I told him, bro, why are you going so far away from the house you just sold for $305 a square foot? I go, bro, you just made 200 grand. We're just buying a lot across the street. Why are you going a mile and a half away? You don't even need to go any further than across the street, bro. And so he goes, yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think about that. You know, yeah, just go and buy it across the street. He didn't really say it like that, but it's like, I'm saying it to you guys because people do that, right? He's sharp. He's sharp. But he did go a little further. I say, hey, come back in. Let's stay within that 1 mile radius and let's just do exactly what we've been doing and duplicate it. Then when the recession hit, I had to go figure shit out again, guys. And that municipality sucked. It got hit hard. And so I couldn't make money there, not the money I needed to make. And the impact fees were too high. So I went to this municipality called Placitas, New Mexico. You guys ever heard of it? Anybody heard of Placitas, New Mexico? Anybody? Look around, guys. Anybody heard of Placitas, New Mexico? One person? You from New Mexico? That's why. One person. Okay? It's a tiny little municipality. I think the population is like 1,000 people. Okay? And 90% of those people were my customers. They bought homes from me. I went into this little tiny municipality, they call it the poor Santa Fe. And so I went in there, I bought these big parcels of land, I subdivided, and I started selling $1 million homes, $900,000 homes in Placitas, New Mexico. I've been there since 2010, guys, and I haven't left that municipality, and it's the only municipality I built single-family homes. Once you find a micro market, you just stay there, and you can stick there for the rest of your life, and you can just capitalize on that one little area for the rest of your life, and you don't even have to move. You don't make shit tons of money in that one little micro market. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when we go in and we look at this, guys, the other non-negotiable is land. When we're buying land, guys, I don't give a shit what the land is listed for. I don't give a shit. The banks are looking at comps, guys. The banks are looking at asset values and comps, okay? If you can't get asset values and comps, the bank's not going to lend it to you. You have to go in and get what the banks are looking for. And the banks are looking to make sure their money's protected, and they're looking at the asset values and the comps. What do you build? Exactly what's selling. That's exactly the shit you build, guys. If it's selling and it's 2,600 square feet, you build a 2,600 square foot home because that's the shit that's selling. In fact, I'm going to steal the plans. If that house has the lowest days on the market, I'm looking for two things. Highest price per square foot and lowest days on the market. Highest price per square foot, lowest days on the market. Because if I go in, I'd rather take a lower price per square foot if I can protect my asset and keep my money moving. Does that make sense? So if something sold for $390 a square foot, but it took 250 days to sell, but the average home that's sitting on the market for under 24 days is selling at $350 a square foot, I'm building the $350 per square foot house. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because moving money is good money. I've never met a broke person that took a profit. Does that make sense? And it's still a really handsome profit. Now, when we go in and we get comps and we look at this stuff, we're going to go in and comp out exactly what's being done in that area. So if the area tells us that the house values are sitting in like 2,500 square foot homes, and they tell us those homes are selling for $350 a square foot, and let's say those homes are sitting right about $900,000, we're gonna, when we take the average comps of that area at $900,000, we are not gonna pay more than 15 to 20% for the land. So if you take $900,000, pull out your phones, guys. If you go out and you put $900,000 and you do a multiplier of 20%, what's 20% of 900,000? What is it? 180,000. That's the most you're willing to pay for your land. It doesn't matter if the land's listed for 200, 205, 210,000. That's a non-negotiable, guys. You go in and you negotiate and you put in offers until you get the right lot at $180,000. Does that make sense? That's a non-negotiable. You don't let the landowners take your profit. You're the one putting the risk out. You're the one that's putting your balls on the line. You're the one securing the loan. You're the one taking the liability. That profit belongs to you. Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we go in, guys, you have to own that. Now, once you go in over $1.5 million, now you can pay up to 25%. That's it. Never go over 25% of the land value on the whole resale price of the home. But you have to be at $1.5 million in resale value, asset value, in order to pay 25%. Does that make sense? Because your profitability goes up. Okay? And so now you can afford to pay a little bit more for your land. Some of those areas will cost you more. But we have the profitability that will protect you. Okay? So never more than 15 to 20%, guys, for the land. Okay, now let's back into this. Let's go back over here, guys, and let's back into this. Can you guys see this stuff better off of this?
No.
I usually do this on a whiteboard. Can you guys not see it that good?
No, I'm
Does this
sorry.
suck? I wonder if we could lower these lights a little bit. Let me just turn these things off. You guys don't have to stare at me. Right here? You can turn that down. Yeah. Is that a little bit better?
No.
Oh, there we
Is that a little bit better?
Yeah.
If you can't see it now, just go to there's an eye doctor right down the road. Get some glasses.
I need those.
Yeah, me too. My second set of LASIK coming up really soon. Okay, so cool, guys. That a little bit better? Yeah, a little better. Okay. I don't know, man. How many of you guys have been in a room when I do it on a whiteboard?
Me?
Is it better on a whiteboard? Sometimes. Yeah. I'm just asking because I'm trying to do it. This is the first time we did it off of this, guys, and so. My pen, make it thicker.
Yeah, you can make it thicker. There you go. There you go. Let the lines.
Let's see. Let's try to make it a little thicker, a little bit more. I don't know how to do this.
Three lines. 3 lines are gonna make it bigger.
You're at the right spot. If you go where you were before, on the pencil setting.
Pencil setting.
Pick the pen.
On the
left
Pencil
side.
images, pencil settings.
Right there.
Yeah.
Two lines.
Oh, these three lines.
Yeah, but these two,
Oh,
there we go. You got it.
Oh, my man.
Yeah.
My man. Okay, cool.
Thanks.
All right. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Good job, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. Okay, cool. Now, guys, when we go in, guys, and we look at this stuff, let's go in and let's back into this, okay? Now let's find a real house. Let's find a real one here. Let's go into one of these areas that we talked about. So let's just talk about, like, what do you think? Happy Valley? Is Happy Valley good? Happy, it's good? Okay. So let's go into Happy Valley. So let's go
I like watching.
$1 million homes for sale in Happy Valley. Why $1 million homes, guys? Because I don't want to be, you can't sell homes to broke people, right? So let's go find $1 million homes and then we'll back into it in there. I'd rather be the small guy in an affluent area than a broke guy trying to get into one, right? So we go in, guys, I want to make sure that there's money there. Where do you get money? Like my cousin owned a framing company. My cousin would always tell me, he's like, Jerome, every time I go to your house, you build these big giant homes. And they weren't big and giant, they're this business model. He goes, I'm always dealing with a bunch of broke people, and he's always broke. And he goes, and I'm always broke. And I said, yeah, bro, you can't fucking get money from broke ass people. So where do you get money? From other people's pockets. But they need to have they need to be people that have money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we go in, guys, you need to go into an area that is affluent. Okay. So when we go in, some of these are new construction. Let's go for new construction stuff. Okay, this is good. Okay, pull out your phones, guys. Give me the price per square foot. Okay, we have a $950,000 home, and it's 3,700 square feet. What's the price per square foot? Take 950 divided by 3,700. What is it?
256.
256? Fuck that. Let's go broke there. Don't do that. Okay, now this is different. $1,180,000 divided by 3242.
363.
363? That's fine. That's at 13526 Southeast Ellen Drive in Clackamas? Clackamas? Clackamas. Okay. I know you got my back. Okay. Now, this one's $864,000. Oh, it's $865 really. Just put $865,000 new construction divided by 2,600, guys.
That's the money right there.
332.
332. This is a little bit more program style building, but it's still profitable. 895. 890. It's actually 896. It's $895,000 new construction, 5-bed, 3-bath, 2,590 square feet, divided by 2,590. 345. Okay, 345. Okay, this one's at 15241 Southeast Towers, Terrace in Portland. Okay, these ones are all good. $860,000. This is a little easy build too. This one's $860,000 divided by 2,370.
That's 362.
362. 362. Okay, now that one is at 15237. Oh, that's right next door to the other one. See, these are getting into more program homes. Okay. Now, when we go in, guys, let's look at a custom one real quick too, because these are more program style. This is a. Yeah, let's look at this one. Those are like 1.7 million. Those are too big. I don't want you guys getting there. Look, guys, we build what people need, not what they want. Okay. Don't get carried away. If you get too carried away, you're going to put yourself in a really compromising position. Understand, guys, that in market compressions, people don't go after what they want, they buy what they need. If a family needs a 4-bedroom house to raise a family of 5, 6, whatever it is, that's what they're going to buy. They're not going to have man caves, they're not going to have extra garage space. They're going to buy what they need. Everything that we do in the single family home space, we do based on a market compression. I've built like that forever, and it's always protected me. So even in the 2008 recession, guys, it was when Lehman Brothers collapsed, it was a housing crisis. But yet houses, were the only business that continued making us money in the 2008 recession. We weren't making, at that time, we were making about $130,000 net per house. During the recession, the two houses that sold at the worst price, guys, $48,000 and $52,000. Everything outside of those two homes that we fire sold made between $75,000 and $80,000. guys. Enough that I had an $800,000 tax bill at the end of the year in 2009. I was like, I told my dad did my books, and he told me in January when we were doing 1099s of 2010, he goes, you better have some money set aside, you have a big tax bill. And I said, there's no way, Dad. I said, we didn't make no money last year. He said, oh yeah, you did. And I said, we fire sold everything just to be able to keep afloat. Problem was I was paying 6 figures in debt service to my retail buildings that I had built, so it felt like I wasn't making money, but I was profiting from the homes, paying mortgage payments on, paying debt service on my buildings, my retail centers, so it felt like I didn't make money, but I landed up making like $2.some million net on 50-some homes that we had built the year prior. We didn't sell all of them, we sold like 30-some of them that year, but we landed up making a profit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so understand, guys, that if you guys follow my lead, you'll never go broke doing this, at least unless we have some type of economic circumstances that are more catastrophic than the 2008 recession. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Now, so when we go in, guys, we're going to function based on that. Let's take these numbers right here. Add me up 363, add me up 363, 332, 345, and 362. And then divide it by 5. No. Man, what kind of jacked up calculator? 363. Man, you do math like I do reading. Sideways. 363, 332, 345, and 362 divided by 5. What is it? Oh, divided by 4.
Yeah, that's why. Sorry,
Divided by 4. That's bad. Divided by 4, guys. What is that number? What is it?
350.
350. Okay. So $350 per square foot. Okay. Now, when we go in, guys, all these homes are ranging. Most of them are ranging right between 2,500 and 3,000. So let's go in and let's do on the average on these. Let me go back up. So we're going to do the exact same thing on the square footage of the homes that we're doing on the price per square foot, and that's how we're going to get our square footage. Now, when we go in, most of these are 2,600 to 2,800 square feet. So let's just call it 2,650 square foot home. Okay. So to get our price, guys, if the average is 2,560 square feet, now we go in, multiply that times $350 a square foot. What is our house selling for?
927,500.
What is it?
927,500.
Too high.
Too high.
927,000?
Too high.
It's not though. We just took the comps from you.
No, it's too high. I'm a real estate agent for 20.
I'm just saying what's on here, man. I'm just doing what's on here.
Too high.
She's in the area.
So these are big. This is 2592, 2378, 2592. So we could actually go a little bit low because these houses are all right here between 924, 906, 860, 895, 864. They're all pretty close to that range right there. So let's just call it a 900,000. We'll do 2,500. We'll go a little more conservative. We'll do 2,500. What's 2,500 square feet times 350, guys? And it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. This is just a simple theoretical example. Okay? What's 350?
875.
875. Okay, so let's take something a little bit closer to that. So $875,000. Okay, so this is our sale price. Okay, now we go in, guys. You are going to work with a realtor that's dominant in that area, and only a realtor that's dominant in that area. How do you find them? You just go drive the area, and the realtors that have the most for sale signs, those are the ones. The for sale signs that say sold on them. If they just have a bunch of for sale signs, they're not selling shit. Don't use those realtors. They suck. You want to use a realtor that's selling stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when we go in, guys, we're going to sell this at $825. Now, if we divide that by 20%, what's the most amount we're going to pay for our land? $875 divided by 20% on the high end. What's $875 divided by 20? What is it? 175? 175. Okay, so the land cost
It's times 4.
of 20%. So we go in, we take $875,000 times 0.20, and that's gonna be 175, guys. So 175K for the land. Okay, that's the maximum amount you're willing to pay for your land. Now that includes utilities, guys. You have to have utilities, and they're not utilities down the road. They're utilities that are there on the property. Okay, now. Septic tanks, if it's a semi-rural area, don't worry about it. Septic tanks will work into our build costs. 90% of my homes have septic tanks on them. So don't worry about the sewer line. Even gas guys nowadays, I don't even worry about gas. Electric and water are non-negotiables. You have to have water and electric on the land, okay, in that price. If you don't, the cost that it's gonna take to get it there is going to be the price of the land minus the cost it's gonna take to get it there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when we go in and we look at the cost of the land, if there's no water there, it's gonna cost us $25,000 to get water and electric there. The most you're gonna pay for that land is $150,000. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we go in, guys, that is our maximum amount we're willing to pay for it. Gas is not a non-negotiable. Gas nowadays, you don't have to worry about gas. You can go in, build it as an eco-friendly build, and you can build it nowadays, like in California, it's coming to Oregon soon. You need 5 energy credits to build in California. The only way to get a 5th energy credit in California is to build a 100% electric home and put solar on it. It's the only way to get your 5th energy credit in California. They're trying to pass that shit nationwide. So over time, if it continues that direction, you're going to be building all electric homes anyways. No home's going to have gas in it because there's not going to be a need for it because nothing's going to pass the energy credits with gas. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so now gas isn't like it used to be. So you guys can build, so gas is not, you don't have to worry about that as much. Now, when we go in, guys, with land, it's $175,000. Our build cost nationwide, the average is $141 per square foot, okay? $141. Now, we're not building these homes for $141. Our cost to build the houses that we're building, and you guys can go in and look these ones up, like this one's at 10 basket weaver. Okay, you guys can look at that one. That one's for sale right now. If you guys want, I don't have all of them memorized, but I'll show you guys another one. Oh, you guys can look at one in Kirkland, Washington that we just finished up as well. You guys go to Kirkland. This one at 10 basket weaver cost me $155 a square foot to build. Because that's at $154. Okay? And your cost to build out here is very similar to what my cost is. In some areas out here, it is a little more expensive if you're in the city. But if you source your labor outside of the city, your cost to build is going to be very similar. Okay? Now, you're not going to build this level of home for $141 a square foot. In fact, those of you guys that don't have experience, you're going to have to go in and you guys are going to have to get lending. You're going to have to go in and get lending utilizing a general contractor. 90% of our builds nowadays, I am not the general contractor on them anymore. So exactly what I'm teaching you guys is exactly the way you guys are going to execute. So when you guys go in and you guys execute on the builds, guys, you have to understand that most of my builds, I'm hiring GCs as well now. Because our bandwidth has gone so broad, now we hire GCs for everything. The only houses I don't GC are the ones that I build right in my own backyard. Everything else, 100% of it is all built with general contractors that I hire. Make sense? Okay. Now, some of you guys are going to need that for bank lending. When you do that, guys, you're going to be between $165 and $170 per square foot to build these exact same homes. Okay. Now, if we go in and we multiply the 2,500 square feet times 165, so we take 100. So if we go in, guys, and we take 2,500 square feet and we multiply that times 165, what does that cost, guys? 165 times 2,500, that's $412,000. So your build cost is equal to $412,000. Okay? Now, when we go in, guys, this build cost and this land cost is what we're going after with the bank for lending. How many of you guys have an expendable $175,000 that you want to spend on land in your bank account? How many of you guys would much rather have the banks pay for the land for you? Okay, now this is how you do it, guys. You do what's called a contribution of equity, and let me explain what this looks like, okay? So we take the land value, 175, we take the 412K, this is for the land, this is the build cost. Now, when we go in, guys, the 175 plus 412, this will be 587, okay? Okay, this is what we need from the bank. Now, when we go in and we get from the bank, we still have some expenses. We have 6% of the overall resale value of the house. So if the house is selling for $875,000, we take $875 and we multiply that times 6%, our closing cost on that house is gonna be $52,000, call it $53,000, okay? So 53K, this is our closing cost. Your finance fees for your debt service is gonna be someplace right around $35,000, okay, for debt. Always remember to consider your debt, guys. So our total cost is gonna be plus 587. Our total cost is 674. Go ahead.
How did you get the cost and build costs?
That's just a nationwide, that's what we're building for all over the place. Our cost is
What is that? What is it for square foot?
$165 a square foot. Our cost is really about
Is that labor and
$175.
material?
Yeah, it's labor and material. Labor and material. Yeah.
Then the 175 is the 20% of.
Is it 20% of the
sale price?
sale price? Now, his question, guys, was where we got the price per square foot to build. The price per square foot to build, guys, according to the National Association of Home Builders, guys, nationwide, the average cost per square foot to build is $141 a square foot. Now, if you're building like median homes, you can get $135 to $140 is about where you're gonna be. If you're building upper median homes, you're not gonna build them for that price. Our real cost on upper median homes is right about $155 a square foot. I have a project over in Finn Hill by Juanita up in Kirkland, Washington that I just finished. It was a 3-year project. It was a $27 million project. We landed up building 21 single-family homes, all cottage communities up in Kirkland, Washington. Our cost to build in Kirkland, Washington, when we had a GC, was about $198 a square foot. When I fired the GC, he's a good guy. David's a good guy. I just fired him when interest rates went up and housing prices went down. I hired my own superintendent. My cost to build went down to about $184 a square foot. And those are real costs. We were sourcing some labor from Seattle. Most of it was coming from Redmond, Tacoma, Olympia, because the cost of living was cheaper out there, so our cost for trade labor was lower there. Does that make sense? Yeah. I source my trade labor from areas that are less affluent to be able to build in more affluent areas. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But even in those areas, that's what we're building for. It's about $185 to $200 a square foot. And that's in one of the wealthiest areas in the United States, guys. Okay? Yeah, all the hookups and stuff, they're all included. That's why I tell you about the land. You gotta consider your utility costs in the land, okay? Otherwise, you gotta back that number out of the price of the land. Does that make sense? It devalues the land if there's no utilities there. That's an all-in price with utilities on the lot, okay? Now, when we go in, guys, 674 minus 875, you got $201,000 in net profitability, okay? 201K net out. This right here is a 5 to 6 month build. How are you doing with a $200,000 net profit, guys, in 6 months? How are you doing? Pretty fucking good. And that's pretty conservative, guys. The house on 10 Basket Weaver, guys, it's under contract right now. We'll make about $310,000 on it. Now, I am the broker. I was the GC on that project, and that is in my own subdivision. But even if I consider the land at market value, I'm still making $300,000. We're making more because it's my subdivision. The Anasazi Meadows subdivision, the Petroglyph Trail subdivision, those are my subdivisions. I developed the land, I did everything, and I got lots in there. But when I take fair market value for the land, what we're selling it for, subtract that out, we're making about $308,000 a net out on that house. Okay, building at about $154 a square foot. But new coming in, because you have to hire GC and you're going to have some variables, you'll make about $201,000. Now, let's take a look at this here. You don't need, when you go in, guys, on this $875,000 house, you need $587,000 from the bank. Okay, that's to cover your build costs, and that's also to cover the price of the land. Now, when we go in, guys, how do you get this money from the actual bank? Okay, this 587. You're going to go in, guys, you need 2 spreadsheets. Now, when we go in, guys, the spreadsheets that we utilize, in fact, I got them right here. I didn't pull them out. Let me pull one out so I can show them to you guys. When we go in, guys, and we're looking at our cost to build, the bank is going to require you guys to have a spreadsheet very similar to the one that I'm going to show you guys here. Okay? Now, the spreadsheet that you guys are going to need, guys, is, and this is real, you guys are going to need a spreadsheet. And you can get a spreadsheet like this from any bank. My spreadsheet is a lot more involved. And the reason my spreadsheet's a lot more involved is because I don't want to miss anything. A lot of times when you go into lending, there's two things the bank's gonna ask for lending. They're gonna ask for a set of plans, because they can't get comps on a house without a set of plans. So when you go in, guys, you have to go through the process of entitlement, okay? Now, means you need to hire a surveyor. Your boundary surveys are gonna usually come with this purchase of the land. That won't cost you anything typically, but you're gonna need a topographic survey. That's gonna cost you about $1,500, okay? Now, that $1,500 is gonna go and get your survey so you can get an architect. I use an app called Landglide so that I can jump straight into the architecture immediately. I can go in and survey my own land off of Landglide, and I can take it to my architect the same day. So if I go in off of Landglide, I take a snapshot of it, I send it to my architect that same day, my architect can plat my house and get to work. But I still need the survey in order to get permits. Now, the architect, if you use an architect or a draftsman, is gonna cost you about $2 to $3 a square foot. So if you're building a 2,500 square foot home, it's gonna cost you about $5,000 to $7,000 for the architecture to be able to get permit-ready prints to go to the city with. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if we go in, let's go on the high end. So let's go on architecture. It's $7,000, let's say. This thing's like riding slow. Now architecture. Now, we're gonna need an engineer. We're gonna need a civil engineer, and we're gonna need a structural engineer. Now, when we go in and do this, guys, the civil engineer is gonna cost you about $3,500. Most municipalities are gonna require a grading and drainage plan. The structural engineer is gonna cost you no more than $1,000. Your CAD drawings, guys, they print out all of the wind loads, the seismic loads, your shear walls. They print all that shit out, guys. What you're paying for is the structural engineer to review it and stamp it. Takes them about an hour. That's it. If they try to hose you for like $4,000, you're getting ripped off. Go to a different structural engineer. They're ripping you off because they're making $4,000 for their stamp, guys. That's all they're doing. So I pay about $800 for my structural engineer. You guys will cost you about $1,000, give or take. Go ahead, have them stamp it. You're all in with a permit-ready set of drawings. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13K. Okay? This is a non-negotiable, guys. That $13,000 is non-negotiable. You have to have $13,000 to pull this house out of the ground. That is the one variable that is non-negotiable. But what's cool about that is that you can take that $13,000 and get a reimbursement of that capital on your very first draw. Okay? Because on these spreadsheets, guys, that $13,000 is going to give you a set of prints. And it's going to be the comps that you already got for the bank and for your lender and for yourself. All you're doing is duplicating what's already being done in that exact same area. Now you already know what the comps are going to come back at because you've already vetted it and you've already done your homework. Now, when you go back in with that set of prints, we know that the bank, when they go get their underwriting done, is going to come back with an appraised value very similar to what you did. Now, your spreadsheet has to match that. So when we go in, we're going to take that set of drawings and we're going to put it out to bid. How are we going to get our numbers? We take our plans to the market. And with those plans to the market, we don't stop getting bids until we hit our budget numbers. It's called value engineering. We go in and we engineer our bill and we reverse into it with all our costs. There should not be any variable, guys. You should know what you're building for before you turn dirt. It's a controllable asset. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Most people go in and function and do this shit with their eyes closed, guys. Don't do that no more. This is the way multifamily is done, guys. The banks will not lend you money without these spreadsheets. Most people are bullshitting numbers. You don't need to bullshit numbers. You put your project out to bid. You get a general contractor, you make them put it out to bid. You put it out to bid too. Where do you find your contractors? Go to D.R. Horton, Pulte, and Lennar subdivisions and pull up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Every fucking trade is there. It's 7 a.m. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Those people, guys, are for hire. They don't own those people. Those roadways are public roadways. They can't kick you out if it's a public road. You can go in and poach all of them. In fact, 90% of the time, the superintendent comes out and they ask you what you're doing there. You tell them. I joke with them. And if any of you guys have seen my stuff, I even have it on video where I come in and I mess with them. I go, hey, what are you doing here? I go, I'm stealing all your contractors. And I tell them that. And then they laugh. They go, and then some of them pull out their phones and they even start giving me phone numbers to all their subs, guys. 90% of the time. Anytime, like I fired my electrician on one of my houses, last home that I built, and I needed an electrician like yesterday, all I did is I went to a subdivision, I pulled over, I went in there and said, hey, get on this la jefe, where is your boss? you the boss? You like have fair? You the boss? And then I just go in there messing with them. And I end up getting their number. I call them up and I say, hey, you guys taking on more work? I got some prints that I have. And I send them to you. And I send them over. I get bids on it. And I get it from those guys. Why? Because those guys are doing volume. They're typically the lower, most more cost-effective bidders. And you know they're insured, they're bonded, and you have legitimate contractors because D.R. Horton and Pulte are not finding guys that are not insured. Does that make sense? That's where you get your contractors from. That's at least where I get mine. Okay? Now, when we go in, we put our projects out to bid. This is your money right here, guys. This is what the bank is going to give you your draws on. So when we go in, guys, and we do this, the first thing on this is going to be your land. Right up here is going to be your land. Right here is going to be your soft cost. All your architecture is going to be this one right here. That 13K is going to be the second line item. Then you're going to have your dirt work, your foundation, your framing package, your trusses, your plumbing, mechanical, electrical, cabinets, flooring, drywall, insulation, all the way down, all your costs. This cost right here is going to come out to be $587,000. Okay? That's this number right here, guys. That's the cost of our land, and that's the cost of all our build costs, $587,000. Now, when we go in and we take this $587,000, this is what we need from the bank. This is our spreadsheet right here. We don't give this to the bank. We go in and we underwrite this house. The house, remember, is $875,000. So if comp supports $785,000, let's say that we take this to $865,000. Okay? And we have the same cost. The cost of the land, the cost of your soft cost, electrical, mechanical, plumbing, dirt work, foundation. You got your framing labor, all your same costs over here, but you're going to inflate them by 15 to 20%. You're going to add management fees, development fees in there, and you're going to take it to $565,000. Okay? The banks don't expect you to work for free, guys. They understand you need to get paid. But what you're going to take it is you're going to take it on the back end when you sell the house. Okay? You're not really going to take it on the back end. At least I hope. Okay? That was a joke. You can laugh. Why you? Okay, so 865, guys. Now, when we go in at 865, what happens, guys, is that there's going to be what's called a contribution of equity. You can go in and you can either come out of pocket with 20 to 25%, or you can do a contribution of your equity in the actual bill. So Alec, my camera guy, right now, we're closing on his loan. We were supposed to close on it on December 23rd, and it's been a pain in the ass. This loan has been a pain in the ass. Then we were supposed to close on it yesterday, then today, and we're going to close on it finally tomorrow. He closes on his whole bill. Now, you guys want to talk about challenging? I got a 29-year-old camera guy that works for me, and I said, fuck, if I'm selling this stuff, everybody on my team should be building. So I told Alec, my camera guy, I said, you need to build a house. And so he is. He's building a house right now. And I didn't know, he didn't tell me before we went in that his credit was jacked up, his DTI was jacked up. I mean, this has been the hardest freaking loan I think I've ever done for somebody. And I'm like, God only gives us what we need. I told Alec, I said, bro, if you would have told me that your shit was this jacked up before we got started, I don't think I would have done it with you. But I said, God hands us shit on purpose. Because I'm teaching this stuff, I truly think that God handed me Alec in this brilliant idea that I have to have my camera guy build a fucking house to show you guys that anybody can do it. And I think God has humor, man. And God came and he gave me the most jacked up person that I could have build a house. And I was like, holy shit, man. I've already advertised that my camera guy's building a house. There's no way I'm going to let this fail. So I was like, fuck that. We're going to make this loan work. Right? You watch the videos? Yeah, so guys, I'm telling you guys, fucked up credit score, jacked up his DTI, doesn't claim his taxes. Taxes were all jacked up. You want to talk about a challenging loan to get? We got one. He's paying a little higher interest, a little bit more variables, but we're getting the loan done. And he's going to get this $1 million build out of the ground with all jacked up variables, guys. And we're actually getting it done. It's been a pain in the ass, but we're getting it done. He breaks ground. We're supposed to break ground on Thursday. It's going to be Monday now because we haven't closed. We can't break ground on the house. It's permit ready. Went through the exact same process. You guys are going to be able to watch this entire process. We already started posting it from the very beginning, and you guys are going to watch the whole process live, guys, because we're documenting how we get just an average person that's a camera guy with jacked up fucking everything, and we build him a house, okay? And so the reason I'm doing this is to show you guys it's possible. Now, when we went in for this loan, we underwrote it just like this. And then the bank came in and they said, proceeds at closing, they came in at like $170,000. He doesn't have to show up to closing with $170,000. Alec came back with a term sheet. I said, you don't have to show up $170,000. That's what you have to show up with in equity in your bill. He has to show up to closing with $0, guys, zero. He's walking into closing with $0. He's all into the entire bill at $7,500 because he's using my people. So my people, I get this stuff done, what you guys get done for about 13 grand, cost me about $7,000 to $8,000 to get a house out of the ground in my area, but you guys will cost you about 13 grand. Now, what we do, guys, is when we go in on February 21st and 22nd in Las Vegas, it's called our Build Wealth Workshop. It's an underwriting workshop, guys, and what we do is we teach you guys how to go in and build business lines of credit right off the bat. So let's say you guys go in and you guys are a freshman in college. How many of you guys went to college, guys? Oh shit, a lot of you guys. Okay, how are you guys doing? You guys doing okay? I'm a little long-winded today. You guys doing okay? Yeah? Yeah, is this worth your fucking time? Yeah? Okay, you guys want me to keep going? Yeah? Or do you guys want to network? Both. You guys got another 5 minutes in you? Yeah. Okay, you guys want to see how you get money in the next 5 minutes? Okay, let's do it. And then, for those of you guys who want to hang in for another 5 minutes, I'm going to show you how this flips into multifamily. Is that cool?
Yes.
Okay, now, guys, when we go into Las Vegas, guys, it's really important you guys understand this. You guys will not see an ad for Las Vegas anywhere. It's by invite only. I only allow 350 people. Guys, we had probably 130 people here today, give or take, about there. Guys, it took me 4 days to put 130 people in these chairs. If I ran an ad for 1 week, 350 tickets would be sold in a week or two to Las Vegas. It'd be sold out. I'm not looking for everybody. We only allow 350 people in Las Vegas. It's a sharper, higher level people and people that are really motivated to get shit done and make shit happen. It's an underwriting workshop that's by invite only. You'll never see an ad for it. The only way you can get invited to go to Las Vegas is to show up to one of these meetups and sit through one of my trainings, because then I really know that you're somebody that's really interested in doing what we're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when we go in, guys, the first thing we're going to do is teach you guys how to build a business line of credit. So if you don't have $13,000, you need this more than anybody. Because when we go in, guys, you have to think about it being a freshman in college, for those of you guys who went to college. You go to the registrar's office, you register for your classes. Right after you're done registering for your classes, you go to the bookstore to buy your books. When you go to the bookstore to buy your books, what's sitting in front of the bookstore? The mascot? Not typically.
Credit cards?
Credit cards. Yeah. Guys, Visa, MasterCard. A freshman in college, no job, no credit, no need with a credit card, but yet they're going to give you a $3,000 to $5,000 credit card your first day of college. Welcome to America. Welcome to college. Welcome to being an adult, right? No business with a credit card, but $3,000. You guys ever go to Bank of America, Chase, and you walk in, and the second you guys walk in, there's somebody there with an iPad. They go up to the line. They go, "Hey, sir, how are you today? Can I help you? Can I get a deposit? What are you here to do today?" Deposit. Why don't you come with me? Let me show you how. Let me go ahead and help you out. Can I have your debit card? Your debit card? Do you realize you qualify for a Bank of America business line of credit? Would you like to apply for a credit card today? Sure. I mean, most people say no, right?
Yes.
Now, on the contrary, from here forward, you say, "Fuck yeah, I do." Yeah, right. I qualify for that credit line of credit. Guys, we're going to show you guys how to get a business line of credit right off the bat. Understand, guys, that 95% of businesses that start fail in year number one. Year number one. Okay? Out of the 5% that make it, 85% of them do not turn a profit until year number 3. You go in, guys, you build one of these houses, $875,000. Your gross annualized revenue is $875. Your net taxable revenue is $201. You're in the top 0.2% of all businesses since the history of Adam and Eve. They're going to give you business lines of credit. Okay? When you first start out, guys, the goal is to go in, get high leverage credit. I don't give a shit if it's 20% interest rates. You're only going to have it for 60 days. Put that on some lines of credit, $13,000 at 25% interest, who cares? The first time you get your draw, line item number 2, you're going to pay that shit off. The second you pay that off, you're going to go out, you're going to tie up another piece of land before you even start building. Guys, the day you close on that land, the next day you're going to break ground on that house. You're going to go in, you're going to tie up the lot for house number 2, and you're going to use that same $13,000 to start on the process of entitlement for house number 2. So that way, when you sell house number 1, you have a shiny set of permits, permit approved, ready to go, ready to start construction on house number 2 without any lag time. You sell and close, you turn dirt the next day on house number 2. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when we go in, guys, we're going to underwrite this at 865. What's 75% of 865? What's 75% of 865? We take $865,000, 865 times 0.75, that's $648,000. Okay? It's gonna be $648,000. This is what the bank is willing to lend you based on this underwriting and comps. How much do we need? 587. Your first draw is gonna pay for the land, guys, right there. You have to have that spread of equity in order to do what's called an equity contribution to be able to pay for the land. Now, the bank might only give you 70% of the land, but if the land is 175, if the land is $175,000 and the bank only gives you 70% of it, they're only going to give you 122. So where you're going to put the rest of it is on this spreadsheet. So at closing, when we go in and do a contribution, we're going to be able to draw out from other bucket items on this list. But because they're 15 to 20% inflated, we're just going to front end load the front end of our bill, and we're going to go put that on our spreadsheet. That's how we're going to go in and have the bank pay for 100% of our land. So like on Alex's loan sheet, it said credit of proceeds, $23,000 and some change. He was short on his proceeds for land by $23,000. So the bank gave him a credit of $23,000 to pay for the land up front. He just has to go in and make sure that he could build the house for the cost that we go in and we utilize. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when we go in off of our spreadsheet, guys, we need to make sure we have our budget sheet on here at 587. Now, Alec ain't gonna have to pay for the land, the bank's buying it for him, and he's gonna be able to go in and build the entire house, and his whole cost in is 660. His house is gonna be sold for $1 million. That'll be like $998,000 based on comps. He went in and he's $0 out of pocket. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But there's enough contribution of equity in there. So if you go in, guys, and you only have $50,000 in profitability in a bill, there's not enough equity to contribute. So it costs you more to go out and build a $400,000 house than it does to build an $880,000 house, because there's not enough equity in a $500,000 house to contribute it. So if you're short on equity, guess where the money comes from? You. It comes from you. Okay? You have to pony up the money. Now, what's cool about this is the interest payments, guys, that $35,000 that's right over here, you don't have to make those payments. They're going to do what's called a reduction of proceeds, and they're going to take that from that 648, which is going to leave you with about $613,000 in proceeds. That's going to pay your debt service while you're building. You still only need 587. The bank gives you 613. You don't even have to make a mortgage payment for a year on that project. Does that make sense?
Yes.
They take a reduction of proceeds based on your interest reserve. That's what it's called, interest reserve. And that's how you pay your debt while you're in construction, and you don't even have to make mortgage payments for a year. Okay? Now, I teach this in black and white up here in front of the room. There's a little more involved than exactly the way I explained to you. That's why the workshop's so important, guys. Because when you guys go, we teach you guys how to do this both with multifamily and with residential construction. This is the art of getting money from banks. It's not a hidden language. You're not tricking the banks. The banks know exactly what you're doing. You're not pulling the wool over their head. They know. They know. We've been talking to the lender. When you guys go in and you guys watch the videos that we're talking about with Alec, we're on the phone with the lenders. We're walking through their budget sheets. We have their term sheets in our videos, and we're showing it to you guys live. And so when we go in, guys, you're not pulling the wool over the head. The only variable, guys, is 100% of what you put on this spreadsheet has to get spent on that project. If it's not getting spent on that project and you don't need the money, you don't take a draw. Does that make sense? Because if you take a draw and go buy a new car, it's called money laundering. You go to fucking prison for that. Okay? You don't do that, guys. You go in and you function and you build your house only. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. You can contribute equity to that property. You can take that money and contribute equity to that property, but you can't take that money out of that bill for that property. Yeah?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, guys, we only have 20 seats available for Las Vegas today. About 45 minutes ago, my team texted you a link. That link is a registration link for the event. Now, these events, guys, I don't make money on them. They're an investment in yourself. Guys, I go in, guys, and I do them in my cost. The seats to the events are $797 a piece. Okay? Oops, shit. Truth, this guy right here. So we go in, guys, the ticket price on these is $797, guys, okay? Now let me explain this to you guys. A +1 is $200, okay, to bring a spouse or a business partner. And I do this for my wife because one of the things, guys, that I learned, my wife isn't into business and real estate. That's not her thing. Guys, my wife is a nurse. When we first got married, she's never been into business and stuff, but she's a damn good mom and damn good wife, and she's not into it. But she won't pay for it, $797, to come spend a weekend with me in Vegas. It's not worth the money for her to go. But she will spend a couple $100 to come spend a couple days with me in Vegas because that's worth it to her. So the reason I put that +1 ticket together is so that you can bring a spouse, a loved one, or a business partner, or a sibling to be able to come in and join you guys in Las Vegas without it being so expensive for them. I do that in lieu of my wife. Okay, now, when we go in and we do this, guys, understand, here's the thing, guys. When you go in, we're gonna start off with business lines of credit. We added what's called our perpetual money machine to this event in Vegas. I've never done a perpetual money machine for any event ever before. I took this course back in 1993 at the Aladdin in Las Vegas, in 1993. We're bringing this to our real estate venture, and I'm gonna be teaching you guys through scripts in Las Vegas. Guys, and we're going to teach you guys in real life scripts how this shit works in real life. It's the first time we've ever done a perpetual money machine in Vegas. It's going to be really friggin' cool. Now, when you guys get there on Saturday morning, we're going to open the doors at 8:30 in the morning. We're going to go straight into business lines of credit. Right after business lines of credit, it only going to take us about an hour. We're going to roll into these spreadsheets in residential, okay? Lunch is on me. 12:30, we go to lunch. I rented out an entire restaurant inside the Golden Nugget, guys. I'm not gonna let you guys leave any place, guys. Fertitta bought the Golden Nugget, remodeled the whole thing. It's friggin' awesome. I rented an entire restaurant out for you guys. So you guys get up out of your chairs. We go to the restaurant. Everybody sits and eats. You guys network, and I pay for your guys' lunch. Steak, fish, shrimp, chicken, whatever it is, it's all on me, guys. That's your guys' lunch. I'm paying for your guys' lunch. And we're done with lunch at 1:30, we all get back up and we go back in and we go at it. Again, and it's all multifamily, and it's these spreadsheets in multifamily in the afternoon. Now, part of this is going to be incorporated with the script training that I'm doing for Perpetual Money Machine, and we're going to be doing it. And then Sunday, we teach you guys how to compound this. When you guys go in, most people, they'll go in and make $200,000 and they'll spend $250,000 is the problem. That's the way the average American thinks. The way millionaires and billionaires think is in terms of compounding money. So on Sunday, I'm going to teach you guys how to take a $200,000 profit and how to compound it into $2 million worth of lending power. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so Sunday is all about compounding your money and teaching you guys how real wealth is really built. And we do it applicable. So it's not just like this theoretical fucking cloud that teaches you guys, wow, I can possibly do that some fucking day. No, it's a real business model where when you guys come in, guys, you can apply it that day when you guys walk out of there. So you have a real business plan to walk out of there that you can actually apply. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Look, guys, Vegas is going to be a business where you guys come in, and I'm not going to motivate you guys. I'm going to go in there. You guys don't need motivation, guys. You guys need information.
Yes.
You guys need to learn how to do this shit right. You guys want motivation? Google Goggins. He has plenty of motivation for you. Okay? I'm going to teach you real shit that you can go apply. Make sense?
Yeah.
I'm your only speaker. I'm not going to go in and have other speakers. I'm the only trainer, guys. I do 100% of it. The only other people that I will allow speak is my community. People that are part of my community, that were in your seats a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. A lot of these guys have already hit millionaire status. They're fucking crushing it nationwide. I was just on the phone with Bruno a few minutes before we got started. He's in Little Rock, Arkansas, guys. His first build, he made $1.7 million on a 27-unit apartment complex as an immigrant, 7 years, from a 7-year immigrant, opened up a pizzeria in Little Rock, Arkansas, followed a woman down here, and opened it up. And 7 years later, he's building, now with no building experience, crushes a $1.7 million build in his very first build. Now he has like 7 homes under construction. He's only been working with me for a year and a half, guys. And now he's doing a 60-unit build, and he's way overwhelmed. He's like, oh shit, this is different than a 20-unit. I said, yeah, it is. And so I'm walking him through it, guys. Bruno will be there in Vegas. He needs my help, and he's going to be working with you guys. Does that make sense? Yeah. Miranda, a mom, mother of 4, stay-at-home mom, her husband's in tech, she's fucking crushing it. She hit millionaire status 2 years ago. She's been working with me for 4 years, guys. Miranda was just in Mexico with me, and she's on her like 7th build right now, and she's getting ready to build some multifamily. She's crushing. She's gonna net $1 million this year. Last year she net like 600 and some thousand. A couple of her houses did sell. They're gonna sell now. She's gonna net over $1 million in 2026, and it's because of what she did in 2025. Does that make sense? Nicole, her best friend, started building with her, not with her, separately in a different city. Nicole was in Mexico with us. Nicole just sold her first build for $400,000. Single mom.
Aw.
Single mom. Yup. $400,000 profit, very first build, guys. With a GC. Women, guys, don't complicate this. I can keep going on with the women that are having success in our group. Annabelle's on her second build, Corpus Christi, Texas, guys, kicking ass. Kicking ass, guys. You guys, those people will be in Vegas. Those are the only other people that will work with us, okay? And then, guys, if you guys register today only until midnight, it's $597. It's $597. Okay? Okay, it's $597, but the plus one is still $200, and that's just today. And it's only 20 tickets, guys, so if it sells out at $597, all 20 of them are at $597. So make sure you guys get it. Now, guys, here's the thing. I'm gonna stay up here so we can network and stuff. You guys wanna see why you guys got 5 minutes for multifamily real quick? You guys wanna see it? Okay, now, here's the thing, guys. When we do multifamily, we do that same little 10-unit build that we were talking about earlier, 8 to 10 units. Guys, we do that we go back and exit out of this. Look at that sexy stuff. Before you guys talk shit all the time. Okay, so we go in, we do an 8 to 10 unit apartment complex, okay? Okay, now guys, this is important. Every single person in here has to get into multifamily. Here's why. Because if you make $200,000, how many of you guys want to write a check for $80,000 of that to go to the IRS for taxes? You go in, guys, you take your $200,000 profit, and right away it's only worth $120,000 because the rest of that $80,000 goes to the IRS. When I first started building, guys, I would spend the first 4 months of the year building for the IRS. I really would. I thought, okay, I'm going to rush through all these houses. I prep my year to pay taxes. I did this all the way past 2008. I would sit back, okay, I'm going to build these first 20 homes, and then after these 20 homes, the rest of the year is all mine. It's all profit. And I would literally build for the first 4 to 5 months of the year to pay my taxes for the next year. Stupid, stupid, stupid. I was just young and dumb. I didn't know. And my dad was an accountant, but he didn't know business. You know, my dad worked with me. He didn't know that stuff. So look, you guys, based on average rents, this apartment complex will be worth about $2.1 million, okay? Based on average rents. Now, the IRS says that we can go in and do what's called cost segregation. So we can cost segregate this. Now, when you cost segregate this, you have to remove the land. So if the land is $200,000 to $300,000, that means that the value of the asset itself is about $1.8 million, okay? Now, that $1.8 million asset value, you can do what's called bonus depreciation in year number 1. So you can do what's called bonus depreciation in year 1. You can take 100% of the entire depreciation of that asset in year number 1. 100% of it, guys. A $1.8 million tax write-off in year 1. That means you don't have to pay federal income taxes until you have a net taxable revenue that adds up to $1.8 million. That means after all deductions, all write-offs, you have to net $1.8 million. And until you net $1.8 million, you pay no taxes. And ladies and gentlemen, that $1.8 million, when you guys go in and you guys do this, it never, ever expires, guys. That never expires, okay? Until you make $1.8 million, it doesn't expire, okay? Now, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, if you're a police officer, if you're a contractor, if you're an electrician, a plumber, and you make $100,000 a year, you will get 100% of your money that you paid to the IRS back in the form of a tax return from the IRS at the end of the year on April 15th. Does that make sense? So if you land up making $100,000 a year and you pay $40,000 of that in taxes to the IRS, you're going to land up getting that $40,000 back in the form of a check, 100% of your money. Plus, you make $200,000 on your bill, you pay $0 in federal income taxes on that $200,000. On this asset, you'll only make about $38,000 a year after you pay all debts and all expenses, guys. That's about what you'll make in cash flow. After you pay your debt service and after you pay all your expenses. It's not a ton of money, but it's tax-free money, and that's a 6-month bill, guys. And it's tax-free money for the rest of your life. And as the rents go up, your revenue goes up. And you make passive income of $38,000 a year for the rest of your life. Make sense? And you'll hold about, in today's real world, you'll hold about $600,000 in equity. You could sell it, take that equity, or now you have a tax liability, or you can just keep it and let it cash flow. Does that make sense? There's 5 ways you make money in multifamily, guys. I will build these things for free just for this right here, for the cost segregation. Okay? Now, when you go in, guys, I don't care if you're a dentist, I don't care if you're a doctor, I don't care what you do for a living. That in itself, that's why these guys invest in commercial assets, is because they go in, they make $1 million as an oral hygienist or an oral surgeon, and now they go in, guys, with the money, they can keep all million of full $1 million and not pay any taxes. When do you keep it? When do you sell it? When you need more. That's when you go. You either ante up and sell and make and build another one, or you sell it and you go up to it and you scale up, or you just keep it and build another. Does that make sense? This is what everybody should be doing by year number 3, guys, right here. Now, for those of you guys who don't want to wait 3 years, you can do this in year number 1, like Bruno did. You could do this like Rich Maine in year number 2. You could go in and do it like Armand. This guy Armand, he's up in Redmond, Washington. I'm going to see Armand tomorrow. He owns assisted living facilities. He came in, joined our community just to come in and build his own assisted living facilities because assisted living got beat up during COVID. So anybody that was in assisted living got their asses reamed in assisted living because of COVID. So he came in, he said, Jerome, I just want to build these things so I can control my overall cost. And so Armand came in, he started building assisted living. He's built 70 doors in the last 3 years, guys, under our leadership. 70 doors under our leadership in the last 3 years. Okay? So ladies and gentlemen, understand, guys, that this is the goal right here. That's why it's so important when we go to Vegas for me to teach you guys both multifamily and single family. Now, Vegas is 7 weeks away. About 7 weeks away, okay? It's a long time to wait. And understand, guys, you guys are sitting here today, and life has a funny way of carrying you different directions, okay? Some of you guys are going to sit back. How many of you guys learned a ton of shit today? Okay, look around, guys. How many of you guys learned a ton of shit today? Raise your hand. Look around, guys. I will give you guys 100% of the information. I'm incentivized to be able to go out and help you guys learn, okay? Now, I will sit back. Some of you guys can't handle me. I run at this caliber fucking 110% of the time. Like 110% of the time. Don't I, Steven? 100%. Okay? So just understand, guys, I don't know how to teach people. I've ran at this level since I was a kid. You know, if there was ADD when you were a kid, there's ADD as an adult. I still run at the same level I was functioning in my 20s. My son traveled with me last week to come in and work with Steven down in Anaheim, California last week. My son got home, he was floored. Football, everything he's doing. He's tired. Damn, Dad, that was a long day. And I was like, really? I was like, that's just a day in the office for us. And so it doesn't matter, guys. I still function. If you guys come in, you guys want to work under my leadership, I'm going to push the shit out of you guys. I wrestled from the time I was 5 years old all the way through college. I was a Division I wrestler. I wrestled all the way through college. I train you guys like I was coached, guys. I don't know how to be a teacher, but I didn't know how to get coached. I was coached with some of the best coaches, some of the best Olympians in the country, and I was coached by those guys, and I still run my life the way I was coached. If you guys can't handle that caliber of leadership, I'm sorry, guys. Some people ask me if I was in the military. I was never in the military, but I run this shit like the Marine Corps. How many of you guys are Marine Corps in here? Okay, the Marine Corps guys, in my opinion, is probably some of the baddest people on the earth, guys. Those guys are trained fucking hard, okay? And so we go in and do shit, dude. We do this Marine Corps style, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay? Ooh. Now, when we go in and we do this, guys, and you guys want to work under my leadership, I will push you guys to success, guys. But I'm not going to drag a dead body through the desert, okay? I will push you, but you have to fucking walk. Does that make sense? Yeah. I'm not going to drag a dead body through the desert. But if you're somebody that wants to get this shit started today under our leadership, I have a community that you guys can be a part of. Our community is 3,000 people strong today, and it's nationwide. We have builds that are going on right now in this local area that are already crushing it, guys. I don't even invite too many when we have a few community members here. How many people are in my community that are here today? We got 1, 2, and then there was another one that's outside. Guys, talk to you. Do you want to tell what it's like to go? Oh, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize you with that big old foot, that big
No,
feather
sorry.
head and that hat on, man. How you doing, bro? Tell them what it's like to be a part of our community, bro.
Amazing support. I mean, I'm super excited to connect with some of our local folks here. But I mean, there's people all over. There's people in the community in every walk.
Give them your name,
and
man.
stuff. Luke Shipman, yeah, been part of the community actually for coming up on 2 years, or around 2 years, I think now. So I think this year I'm really looking forward to hitting it. Planning to come to Vegas so I can make it and get my build out. Amazing community, amazing community.
Luke, you're here today, bro. You're fucking taking a build out of the ground now. Like, it's time.
Yeah.
Luke has been part of our Build Wealth stuff, our Platinum community, and it's taking him some time. It's fucking go time for you,
Yeah.
okay?
Let's do it.
2026, guys. Were you on the call yesterday?
I didn't make it. I thought it was today.
You need to rewatch that call yesterday.
Yeah.
Were you on the
I'm
call
gonna go back
yesterday?
over it.
How was that call yesterday?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. Tell them a little bit about our community, man.
Our community is about 3,000. I connect with Luke. I look for
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, anytime you have a question, you don't hesitate. You just call Ricky, anybody that is being,
Rick's my brother.
yeah, Rich brother, yeah. So you call anybody that is doing it. So that's where you get the source. You don't ask just random. You connect with people that they doing it, and you get all transparency, and step by step you're going to create your business model. And Jerome is just, I mean, the way he's saying right now is the same everywhere. So I'm just,
You guys had some hard love yesterday, didn't you?
yeah.
You guys had some hard love yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah.
I bring the whole fucking community yesterday. The whole fucking community. I went in there, guys, and I told them, I said, look, guys, 2026. Guys, if you guys don't function on faith, if you guys don't function, the only reason that you guys are sitting here and haven't fucking done it is because you guys are scared. But if you guys understand that God has provided for you, whatever you've been going through this life, how many fucking days have you starved on this earth, guys? How many days have you starved? Anybody, fucking anybody in here. We have fat homeless people on the side of the road, guys, in America. Unless they're on fentanyl. Guys, look, guys, we have fat homeless people in America. No one's fucking starving. Does that make sense? You ain't gonna miss a fucking meal. Guys, I tell you guys, and I told my whole community yesterday, you guys need to pull your head out of your fucking ass and you guys have to go. It's go time.
Yeah.
And I said, the only reason you guys haven't done it, the people that haven't built in our community yesterday, as I told them, it's because you're functioning on the lack of faith. Because the Bible tells us in Matthew, it says, chapter 17, it says, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, guys, it's about the size of a ball-peen pen. You can move a mountain. Guys, that means that you can do the impossible. Because there's no room for doubt in the mind of faith. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can't have faith and doubt at the exact same time. And you guys have been handed doubt your whole lives. That's why immigrants come to this country. How many of you guys are immigrants in here, guys? Not from here. The immigrants will be more successful quicker than the people that were born and raised in this country because they came here for opportunity. There's people that come here who don't even speak English. I was just in my mechanic shop last night, dropping off one of my workshop trucks at 6 o'clock last night. This guy came in, guys. He came into this country 3 years ago. You know, he came in with the Ukrainian war from Ukraine, guys. He's running a mechanic operation now. You should see that fucking place. Lifts now. When I first met him, he was working out of a fucking bullshit garage, like one little bay. Now he has lifts, shop. 3 years, guys, because he came here for opportunity. He had faith. He didn't come here to go fucking broke. He came here for an opportunity. Does that make sense?
Yes.
When I first met him, he didn't speak English. Now he speaks English 3 years later. Guys, your faith is holding you back. The only reason, it's okay to be scared. Scared and doubt are two different things. When you doubt yourself, it's because you don't have enough faith. The reason I've gotten here, guys, I thank my parents every day. Because the one thing my parents did give me, they didn't give me support in doing this, but they put me through Catholic school from the time I was in kindergarten all the way till 8th grade. And I would have went to high school in Catholic school too, but they didn't have a wrestling team. Thank God, or I would have been stuck there in high school. Not because of faith, because I would fucking struggle through school. So I got to go to public school my high school years, guys, to my benefit. It actually helped out my confidence and everything. But I'll tell you guys that faith has taken me through everything. My mom used to tell me, she goes, look, if you can't spend 1 hour, give God gives to you every fucking day. Every day God gives to you guys. Every single day. My wife get mad. You F word and God. You can't do that. I'm still getting cleaned up, guys. I have a good wife. She cleans me up every day, guys. God bless her heart. She's awesome. But I'll tell you guys, my mom used to tell us, you can't, God gives to you every day. All God asks is 1 hour from you every day. I don't care if we went out and drank the night before and partied all night or when we were in high school. I tell you what, my cousins and I, we were in church every single Sunday, guys, because my mom raised us that way. But it's a contributor it's the biggest contributor to my success. And I will tell you guys that. And I told my entire community that yesterday. And I said, you guys don't have enough faith. You guys are questioning God. Because if you guys, it ain't a question of whether this works, it's whether it works for you. This will work for you if you get off your fucking ass. That's all it takes. You have to get off your ass and go to work. That's it. But if you don't have enough faith in yourself, it's because you're questioning the man upstairs, guys. There's faith and doubt. If you're doubting yourself because you don't have enough faith, you need to check your faith first. Once you got your faith right, come talk to me. I'll help you out. For those of you guys that have your faith right, you guys are ready to make shit happen, and you guys are really ready to make shit happen. You guys are okay working with somebody who's going to push the shit out of you guys. I'm going to open up 5 positions as part of in our community today. And there's an investment to be a part of our community. I'm not going to invest in you if you don't feel you're worth investing in yourself. Does that make sense? Yes. I don't care if I have to partially finance you to come into our community. I don't care. But when you come into our community, it's a one-time investment, and you're part of my community for how long? How far long are you part of my community?
Forever.
Forever. There's no renewals. There's no nothing. Once you guys come in, you make a commitment to me, you guys got my undivided attention. My wife tells me every day, she's like, I don't know why you do this for so inexpensive, guys. And these guys are paid $8,000 to $10,000 to come in and be a part of our community. And she goes, I don't know why you do it for so cheap. You know why my wife tells me that? Because my wife understands what our community gets. She understands. And what's really cool about this, guys, is it's a one-time investment, and this pays in dividends. Do you guys know what dividends are?
Yes.
It pays forever, guys. You build one house, I'll save you 10 grand on a fucking window package. Okay? You want your monetary return on investment? There it is. Congratulations. Now it's time for you to get your ass to work, and let's go make some real fucking money. So you can invest in my projects, and I can help you guys make some money. And for some of you guys that don't want to get rich, it's okay. You guys could be like my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, Adrian, guys, I met him when I was 29 years old. Guys, he's only built 5 homes in the last 29 years that I've known him, guys. And he's paid off all their bills, and they live almost the same lifestyle we do. He runs a nonprofit organization as a director, and his wife works for the university as a professor. Together, they probably have a combined annual household income of a couple $100,000, okay? I don't know what they make. All I know is they haven't had bills in 20 some odd years because I helped them pay off their mortgage. But their kids have lived an incredible lifestyle, very similar to my kids, because they don't have no bills. So when you think about this, what would this do for you if you didn't ever get wealthy and all you did in the next 3 years is pay off your mortgage, pay off all your car payments, and you had no more bills and just improve the quality of your life? What would that do for your life? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's what this is about. It's not about getting wealthy, it's about a better quality of life. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to have an opportunity to be a part of our community and have our guidance, this is what you guys get from my commitment, guys. You guys get 1 afternoon a week from me, okay? I dedicate 1 afternoon a week. Yes, this week's call was probably one of the shortest calls, and it lasted almost 3 hours. How long was last week's call?
Yeah, it was about more than 3 hours.
It was 4 hours and 48 minutes last week, guys. And it's because you guys bring your projects to the portal. I go over them and I won't leave until we went through everybody's projects. Your underwriting, if you have underwriting that day, your floor plans, and whatever. If you guys have a lot and you guys have your underwriting, I won't let you guys put an offer in on that lot until we look at it. Once I check mark it, I'll say, go put an offer in, you're ready to go. We won't let you fail unless you fail yourself. The only way you'll fail is if you don't show up and you don't do what I tell you to do. Does that make sense? There is no fucking way to fail unless you fail yourself. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay? That's what it's like to be a part of our community. And then plus we have all the course content, guys. It took me a year to write that shit. When my kids were in gymnastics, guys, I would take that little tripod with me everywhere I would go. And when my kids would go to bed at 10 o'clock at night before their gymnastics competitions, my kids are both nationally ranked gymnasts. My son's not in gymnastics when he plays football. He's about to go play some D1 ball in college. But when we went in, guys, I was sitting that little freaking tripod 7 years ago, and I wrote out this curriculum. It took me a year to record it and put it together step by step. If you're a contractor, you take it. I'll get the largest compliments from those of you guys that are contractors, okay? Because you understand what's in that content, guys. And then you bring all that stuff to me. Now, if you want an opportunity to start working with me today and you want to be a part of our community starting today and be a part and join us today, raise your hand if you want an opportunity to come in and do it. And there is a financial investment, guys. Go ahead and raise your hand if you guys want that opportunity. Okay, you guys see Steven over here? Okay, if you have your hand up, go ahead and stand up. I'm only gonna bring 5 people in. Guys, you guys can stand up and we'll figure out what's going on there. Okay, go ahead and stand up as well. Okay, all right. Those of you guys go ahead and come up over here and you guys can start talking to Steven. And then I'll come in and answer your guys' questions. I'm gonna hang out with you guys here in a little bit as well. And then I want you guys to network with some of these guys that are already part of our community. Go ahead and come on up and you guys can come join Steven up here. Okay? Now, the rest of you guys, I'm gonna stay up here and I'm gonna answer questions for you guys. I wanna thank you guys for coming in and spending an afternoon with me. Stay here and network with the people that are here. I have some great fucking people here today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys. God bless you guys. Go out and kick some ass, guys.
Why don't you set it up so it goes back? Try that.
Good stuff.
Well, funds, other funds. So you can become a funded fund almost. That's kind of what I wanted to do a long time ago.
Like I'm funding like I get a section kind of like the flag.
I got a friend here
So I'm about to get a check on like 25 grand. So I'm trying to take that, but if I get that back out for next week, that makes sense. 503 487.
Yeah, so that's got a guy. Do you agree? Depends on the market.
So I just like I'm swaying like that's why I try to come here because I'm getting about like severance pay laid off from my job. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take my 25K bumps on that on the exit. So I figured get the next exit that makes sense. So I've been in corporate America
I'm invested out.
I know nothing about finance.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in IT.
Right.
I need to get out and meet.
You still didn't get it, did you? Bought a free dryer she's got this key idea that she wants to buy this printer.
Hey guys, yes, by the way,
And she's got a commercial kitchen that she works with some guys that do this in other parts of the city. She just likes to do stuff.
how to maximize. How to maximize.
I'm building myself. Yeah. Right. Yeah,
You have to go up in and take it.
yeah, they're finance platform or whatever they have.
Like you said, just have
Yeah.
What about you? From LA, right? I just seen that ad. What part of Louisiana? Alexander. I need to get your number just because you close. I was born in Little Rock. I went to school in Houston. On my house is in Bay St. Louis. What is that? Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. I need to go back there. And I'm in Slidell, Louisiana. I just feel like, yeah, shit, I worked in Louisiana more than I had out here. My whole life. I mean, that's some good force.
Take off. Okay, yeah. Give me a shout.
That's some good force. That's some blood. You see? Solar sailors, gold ox, whatever it is. Not prisons, homes. What you got iPhone? I'm born to live out here. I grew up.
Yes.
Some part of that's good. Some part of like beaver tan or snakes, you know. Now, I just don't do these parts of this maybe I get some new contractor. They're doing this, and I can help them just like like it that works, or the headache is too bad, you're gonna be out stay there. I would rather hire. If you're gonna like, you're gonna want an extra outlet here because you have you're taking a big risk. But you also don't want to take advantage I haven't done the budget in like 3 years. But there's other opportunities where the market says so I've been kind of looking so I'm trying to look into the hills a little bit. I mean, if I was I would just put I'm working on make sure cash consider building a house, living in it 2 years, as long as you don't have like sort of
Yeah, I just took the time off. I said, huh?
I have a house.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah, what's going on? What's going on?
Real estate is like, yeah. Unless it's a pleasure, like having a vision, like get in there and something like that. You're gonna be
One of those.
Running in the background, you don't actually see So are you like metro area?
Hey, Tony, I want to see you. Oh, good to see you. Yeah.
I was like, that ain't gonna really matter. It's not gonna be your backup and time and all that. It doesn't matter.
It's also unique.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did.
I went over and
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
will they help you see you?
I just thought he's staring at he's Hey, go up. This is Tony, the other guy.
I mean, I beat him Zoom. Beat him Zoom. Yeah, but I was telling him that I had land is half acre and I want to build 8 units. I went to the city already. They say, yeah, I had an appointment, go back again. I'm on my county. Power 127. Kind of prime, but they fixing now they sidewalks before the sidewalks. Increase the value. It took me, I was telling Lucas, it took me 10 years to finish but if you go with other lenses and it's for a year. Right now, I try to go really good.
Yeah, like
Yeah, If you know how to negotiate it like that, the project the sale of something is about 800 or 20%. If it's 1.5 million, you yeah, once you get that, you go for this video. I really want to sometimes they have to get that's how he will tell you recorded by he answered my phone right there. Right now, I saw I like so I say start putting it like what you do.
What did I tell
Value of every hour of the day.
You actually can say, five hours in the week. Maybe on Saturday,
No, I cannot. But I can talk
It's all free. You pay for it.
Just like now, the that's exciting. And I started like course. I think shortly after maybe a month or after we signed up for the still doing Saturday stuff.
I'm trying to, like you said, take it all this up and pivot in action. So I remember where this guy too is awesome too.
It's good to see you, brother. Yeah, I figured it off.
Good. Yeah, dude. Let's get your stuff pressing fast now. I need a 3 bill commitment from you. Okay.
My land is half acre. My land is half acre.
Okay. Let's get it now. Let's get that one going. Let's get it going now. Okay.
It's commercial already.
Yeah, I know. Let's get it going. I remember looking at it. We looked at it together. It's ready to. It's time, man. It's time. Okay.
And I'm telling everybody, you know.
So, bro, when I come, like I told these guys in Anaheim last week, man. Now, like when I'm coming to these cities, like I'm always up to Seattle, and we'll have more community members up in Seattle. Like now, man, like you guys are here, and you like now, you guys are gonna be my focus because I need you guys to live. Man, you guys already know because you guys have been around me for so long. That, bro, it's like now you guys already have all the knowledge and information that you guys need, bro. You guys now, it's just like now we already have the lands. Now it's time. It's execution time for you, bro. Okay, so it's execution time, man. Now it's no more sidelining and like wondering if you can. You already know.
I work my butt off to pay it off. You did, so now I'm moving forward.
Yeah. Well, you know, bro. You already know, man.
I was going to Las Vegas. I was in San Francisco.
Yeah, dude, in Vegas, get with Steve or Rick, and you should do platinum with us. We have special pricing for you guys that are part of the community. So for the platinum, yeah, because you can hang out with me all weekend. And that way you're backstage with me, and that way you're meeting with us, and you're with me and the team all weekend long. Like those of you guys that like general people coming in is great. Coming in platinum, you guys have been around so long. Come in and be with me all weekend. Get with Steve and Rick. Let's get you part of the platinum.
I preserve the hotel to use the whole weekend.
That's why you bought it.
Yeah. Well, we'll get everything going for you guys now, and then that land that you have that we've underwritten before, it's time, bro. Like, it's time. It's time, man. Like my goal, dude, I'm gonna get 1,000 bills out of the ground, dude, I want.
There's no way you can go wrong with so much. You know what? There's no way what you say. When we had this capitalized,
How long have you been signed up? How long? How many months?
It took me 10 months
That's too long.
to pay off my
I try to pay off the land.
working with this guy, I see myself in 6 months already like,
Yeah,
it has to happen.
And you guys, you will. And most of it for like a lot of these guys is mental limitations. So it's all mental limitations, man.
I don't see it, man. I
Yeah.
love risk.
So I tell like these guys, man, one of the big things, like, you got to watch yesterday's call. That was a call no one should have missed. And so that call yesterday, man, was all right, guys. I love you guys. God bless you guys. You guys all have a good one, man.
I'm gonna get a picture of you. I want to remember this one, man.